Okay, before we start, let's play a drinking game. Take a shot every time I say any of the words on screen. I'll see you on the other side. Hey guys, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video, and today I'd like to bring you something that can hopefully help you out whether you're a brand new player or someone who's been autopiloting through the game for a while and want to get your account back in shape. Having made an updated best team for every 5-star character video, I figure it would also be worth making a video on the best build for every 5-star character as well. Even though there are tons of guides and whatnot out there on each individual unit, I couldn't help but notice there hasn't really been a video where you can just click on it and get like a spark notes on any amount of characters you want. Usually you have to go through one at a time. In light of that, today I'll be going through every single 5-star character and giving you their best weapon options, best artifact sets, and what stats to go for. Now having said that, I understand the vast majority of characters' best weapon is to no one's surprise their signature. Obviously that's implied, so for each unit I'm gonna try to give you some alternative options, including at least a 4-star weapon out of consideration for the free-to-plays out there. We have over 50 units to go through, so once again I'm gonna be kinda fast. And just like last time, if anyone would be so kind as to give me timestamps in the comments, that would be appreciated. Without further ado, time to get started, and we're going in chronological order as always. First character is gonna be Diluc, and for his best weapon, believe it or not, it's not actually Wolf's Gravestone, it is Beacon of the Reed Sea. Of course you can go Gravestone if you want, and Mavuika's signature weapon is also a great choice. Any stat stick will do. 4-star option will be Serpent Spine. For artifact set, go for Crimson Witch, and your main stats on timepiece, goblet, and headpiece will be attack, pyro damage, and crit. Priority subs to go for will be crit, attack, and elemental mastery. On to Jean. In a similar fashion, Jean's best weapon is not Aquila Favonia. Instead, you want to go Favonia's Sword to keep your energy regen topped off. For 5-star options, anything with high base attack will do, so Freedom Sworn isn't a bad option either. That's about it. Virtus and Venerer will be your artifact set of choice, and for main stats, go energy or attack, and attack or healing bonus. Priority subs are energy recharge and attack. For Koting, her best weapons any crit stat stick with Primordial Jade Cutter and Mist Splitter being the standouts. 4-star options will be Wolffang or Lion's Roar. Now for artifacts, you can do either Thundering Fury for reaction damage or Martial Hunter for pure DPS. Either way, go for Elemental Mastery or attack respectively, and then Electro damage and crit. Priority subs are crit, attack, and Elemental Mastery. Okay, on to Mona. Mona's going for a more supportive role, so her best weapons are Thrilling Tales or Fab Codex. Either one works. No real 5-star weapon to care about here. For artifact set, go for a buffing set like Tenacity of the Millelith, and for main and substats, it really is just energy recharge. You're playing for elemental burst spam and powering up your carry. Chi-Chi. Whatever. Favonia's a sacrificial sword for main weapon, Ocean Climber Tenacity for your artifact set. For main and substats, grab as much energy and attack as you can. You could go healing bonus on your headpiece if you want, but Chi-Chi heals a lot if you build attack anyway, so moving on. On to Venti. Venti's best weapon is Signature followed by Favonia's Bow. Anything that can get his elemental burst available more often can work. For artifact set, go VV, and you'll want to stack as much elemental mastery on main stat as humanly possible. For subs, energy until satisfied, and then elemental mastery, then attack and crit. Alice's baby terrorist builds like one, so grab a DPS catalyst, whether Lost Prayer or Kagura's Verity. Alternatively, I think R5 Witsit is actually Kleef's best option, so there you go. For artifact set, I recommend Martial Hunter for maximum crit value, but you can also go Lava Walker, or even 2-piece Crimson Witch and an attack set. Either way, main stats go for attack, pyro damage, and crit, and for subs you'll want to go crit, attack, and a small bit of energy if you can. On to Child. Child's best weapon is going to be a signature Polar Star, followed by Thundering Pulse, Yoimiya's weapon, and then Virtus and Hunt for your 4-star option. For artifact set, most people got Heart of Depth on him back in the day and pretty much stayed on it, but I believe Nymph's Dream is a decent upgrade, or you can go Martial Hunter. They all play into his win condition. For main stats, attack, hydro damage, and crit, and for subs, go crit, energy, attack, and some elemental mastery if you can. Geodaddy Zhongli, best weapons on him depend on if you care enough to build any DPS at all, but for my money just go Favonius. 5-star option, you could go Staff of Homa if you have one lying around, and for artifact set, go for Tenacity or Archaic Petra, whichever has better substats. Main and subs, go for HP and crit rate, you really don't need much else beyond that. Not too sure why you care about building Albedo, but whatever, different strokes for different folks. Main weapon option will be Cinnabar Spindle of course, but if you don't have it, then Urakumi Sugiri would be the next best choice. You can also go Peak Patrol Song or Harbinger of Dawn. For artifact set, Golden Troop or Husk of Opulent Dreams, and for main stats, go Defense, Geo Damage, and Crit with your priority substats being Crit and Defense. Ganyu has a number of different options, but to keep it simple, Aqua Simulacra is good for general power. You can also go for Screen Magic if you're running a melt party, otherwise just go any stat stick, Hamayumi for a 4-star. Artifact set Martial Hunter works, so you can go Blizzard Strayer for freeze or Wanderer's Troop for melt. Main stats go attack or elemental mastery based on freeze or melt, then cryo damage and crit. Same thing for substats, prioritize elemental mastery if you're going melt or attack % on freeze. Shaw is a general attacker, therefore you'll want to pick up general damage, Staff of Homa or Jade Wing Spear, and for 4-star you can go either Deathmatch or Missive. For artifact set, go for your choice of Long Night's Oath, Maréchal or Vermilion, whichever has better stats. Main stat, go attack, animo damage and crit, and focus on crit, attack, and energy recharge on subs. Funeral Parlor Director Girl wants of course her signature weapon, and for your other options you can go Scarlet Sands or for 4-star Ballad of Fjords. Artifact set is a split between Maréchal or you can go Crimson Witch and Shimenawa, whichever has better subs. Main stats, go HP or Elemental Mastery, then Pyro damage and crit. For subs, crit, Elemental Mastery, and HP. Yule is a general attacker, so for weapon you got her signature, and then you can also go Wolf's Greystone for sheer power. Serpent Spine will be your budget weapon. For artifact set, either Maréchal or Pale Flame, and for main stat, go attack, physical damage and crit, then prioritize crit, attack, and energy on subs. Kazuha's got one very simple job, Elemental Mastery for Daze. For weapon choice, get either Favonius or Seafoss Moonlight to get more energy, or you can go Freedom Thorn for damage. Artifact set, go VV of course, and for main and substat, get as much Elemental Mastery and energy as you possibly can. You could also look to get some attack and crit stats in your subs if you feel like it. Moving on to Ayaka, you'll want to grab any crit sword available, starting with her signature, and then you got Jade Cutter, her brother's sword, or even Foliar Incision. 4-star option, go Finale of the Deep. Not a crit weapon, but a very strong attack boost. Maréchal or Blizzard Strayer for your artifact set, and from then on, it's your standard attack, cryo damage and crit, then crit, attack, and energy on subs. Okay, for Yoimiya, we're gonna go for Thundering Pulse, her signature, and for your 4-star option, you can never go wrong using Rust. Artifact set, you can go Maréchal or you can do 2-piece like Crimson Witch and attack, or Crimson Witch and say Elemental Mastery if you're going Melt or Vape, or you can just do full Shimenawa. Standard DPS build, so attack, pyro damage and crit, then crit, attack, and since Yoimiya's burst is dog shit, go for Elemental Mastery over energy. Raiden Shogun has 2 builds, either personal DPS or Hyper Bloom support. For personal DPS, go Engulfing Lightning or the Catch, and for Hyper Bloom, go for Dragon's Bane. For artifacts, set EOSF for DPS or Paradise Lost if you're going Hyper Bloom. Main stats, go attack or energy, then electro damage or attack, and then crit. If Hyper Bloom, go Elemental Mastery on everything. Substats, get crit, energy and attack, or energy and Elemental Mastery for Hyper Bloom. Where are the artifact loadouts, Toyo? Come on, it's been 5 years. Anyway, moving on. Kokomi depends on whether you're playing her for general usage or if you're going for Bloom teams. Thrilling Tales or Moonglow for the former, and Sacrificial Frags if you're going Bloom. Artifact set, go Tenacity or any of the healing sets. I would recommend just Tenacity. For Bloom teams, go Paradise Lost. Main stats, go HP and healing bonus or Elemental Mastery on everything if you're going Bloom. Substats, go Energy and HP or Energy and Elemental Mastery. Mr. Ito is gonna be a defense scaling beater, so signature weapon first, then Serpent Spine or White Blind for you broke-ass players. Artifact set, go for Husk of Opulent Dreams or Maréchal Hunter, then defense, geo damage and crit for main stats, and subs go crit, defense, and energy. The occasional attack line doesn't hurt either. Shunhe, definitely an interesting character. You can honestly go either Favonius Spear or Calamity Queller, they're very close to each other in viability. For artifact set, you can go either Noblesse or Skull Cinder City. Yes, I know she's not a Night Soul user, but still something to consider, especially since no one else can run it on her teams. You can also just do 2-piece attack set like Gladiator and Shimenawa. Main stats, go attack or energy, and then attack and attack. For subs, energy, attack, and crit rate if you're going Favonius. Yaimiko has a build very similar to Klee actually. Signature of course, Skyward Atlas or Lost Prairie can work as well, but generally the 4-star with Sith is actually better than the non-signature 5-stars. For artifact set, go for Golden Troop or 2-piece like Shimenawa and Thundering Fury if the subs are good. For main stat, go for attack or Elemental Mastery if running Aggravate, then electro damage and crit. Substats, go crit and attack and Elemental Mastery. On to Ayato, I actually think it's better to go for burst spamming than personal damage. For that reason, go Favonius Sword. But if you want a built-in DPS, then Signature or any crit sword like Jade Cutter, Mist Splitter, or Black Sword. Artifacts, you can go Maréchal, Echoes of an Offering, Gladiator, or Heart of Death. Main stats, go attack, Hydra damage, and crit, and for subs, do crit, attack, and energy. Entering Yelan, you can do either a spam burst build or a personal DPS build. I for one enjoy the former. Go Aqua Simulacra for DPS, or otherwise you can do Elegy at the end or Favonius Bow. EOSF for your artifact set, and for main stats, go HP or energy, whichever you need more of, hydro damage and crit. Same applies to your subs, crit, energy, and HP. Okay, version 3 times, so opening up with Tignati, we have a signature to start. Then you can just go any crit bow like Polar Star or Simulacra. 4 stars you can grab realistically anything for him. I like Fading Twilight or King Squire, but they're all very similar. Artifact set, go Wanderer's Troop or Gilded Dreams, and for main skin Elemental Mastery, Dendro damage, and crit. Subs, go for crit, Elemental Mastery, and attack. The joke of Genshin Impact. I mean that both ironically and unironically. In all seriousness, main weapon will be Signature Scarlet Sands of course, but you can also go Ballad of Fjords, not a bad option. Artifact sets are split between Thundering Fury, Gilded Dreams, and Gladiator, whichever has better lines. Main stats will be either a full Elemental Mastery build, or Energy Recharge, Electro Damage, and Crit. Substats go for Elemental Mastery, Crit, and Attack percent. Nilu's been having fun thanks to Nodcry, but her build is mostly the same give or take. Best weapon is her signature, otherwise you can do either Dot Cant, or if you can trigger the passive, go for Serenity Call instead. If you can't activate it, then just stay on Dot Cant. For artifact set, go for 2-piece HP set like Tenacity and Voracash's Glow, then spam HP all the live long day. Grab some Elemental Mastery if you can as well, and of course you can never go wrong with energy. Nahida's build is a hybrid between Elemental Mastery and DPS, so beyond her signature weapon you can also go Wandering Evenstar or Sacrificial Jade. Then for artifact set, you got Deepwood Memories, or Golden Troop, or Gilded Dreams. I'd stick to just Deepwood though. Main stats go Elemental Mastery across the board, or Dendro Damage and Crit. Then Elemental Mastery and Crit for substats with a couple attack lines if you want. Wander is gonna mostly just want a DPS catalyst, so you can go a signature, which I won't even attempt to pronounce, or you can go Cash Flow or Witsit. Then for artifact set, just go Marchase or Desert Pavilion. You could also go Shimenawa or Echoes too. Either way, main stats go your typical DPS build, attack, animo damage, and crit. Then subs go crit and attack with any energy or elemental mastery you might come across. The resident asshole Sumero is here. His best weapon will be the signature Foliar Incision, or you can also just go Jade Cutter for an all-purpose beat stick. Wolfang or Harbinger of Dawn are passable budget options as well. For artifact set, go Marchase Hunter or Gilded Dreams, and for main stat, go Elemental Mastery, Dendro Damage, and Crit, with your subs being Crit, Elemental Mastery, and Attack. Dia is an enigma, let me tell you. It really depends on what you want to play her for, but to keep it simple, signature weapon or title Shadow. You can't go Serpent Spine on her. Artifacts get tricky because nothing particularly optimally works on her, which can also mean a lot of stuff can work on her. Better to just take a look on screen because there's way too much to look at, and I'd rather just move on to the next unit. Baichu's up next, and he doesn't really need a signature. You can instead go Hakushin Ring for aggravate teams, or Favonius Codex in general. Best artifact sets are the Deepwood Memories or Ocean Clam, and for main stats go Energy, HP, and HP, with your subs being Energy, HP, and crit rate if you're going Fab Codex. Pretty simple. Alright, here we are in version 4. Linny's best weapon is his signature, or Aqua Simulacra. For free-to-plays, get Song of Stillness. Regarding artifact set, you can do Marchase or 2-piece Pyro and 2-piece Attack. Stats go your normal DPS build like attack, pyro damage, and crit, with your subs being attack and crit. On to Mr. Nivelette. Best weapon is signature of course, but you can also do Sacrificial Jade or Prototype Amber if you're on a budget. Artifact set will be Marchase, no exceptions. It is perfect on this guy. Main stats go HP, Hydra damage for HP, and then crit. Then for substats go HP and crit, with a bit of energy if you care for it. Wristly Time, signature weapon once more, but if you're into gambling, which I know all of you are, you can also do Witsit. Otherwise go Flowing Purity. Same thing as Nivelette, go Marchase Hunter full stop. Then for main stats go for attack, cryo damage, and crit, and subs get crit, attack, and elemental mastery only if you're running a mount party. Otherwise just go for attack and crit. Arriving at the X-Hydra Archon, Verina's best weapon is going to be Festering Desire, but if you don't have it, then you can either do Favonius, Uraku, or Signature. Artifact set, you can do either Golden Troop or Tenacity, whichever has better subs. Then main stats go Energy or HP, HP or Hydra damage, and crit. Subs get Energy, HP, and crit. Navi is gonna build like a normal DPS, so go for the big ol' axe that is their signature, or just go Serpent Spine. Artifact set, get Marchase or Nighttime Whispers, either will do. Main stats go attack, geo damage, and crit, and for subs get crit and attack, with a couple lines of energy for good measure. On to Xianyun. Besides the signature, you can also go Oathsworn Eye or simply Favonius Codex. Artifact set go for VV, or if someone else has it, you can also do Clam or Song of Days Past. Main stat go for attack or energy, then attack and attack. Same for subs, just go attack %, flat attack, and some energy and you'll be good to go. Chiyoti's up next. Signature, otherwise go for Cinnabar Spindle, but if you don't have it, you can also just do Harbinger of Dawn. Golden Troop will be your artifact set of choice, or Husk of Opulent Dreams. Then go for defense, geo damage, or defense if you have Golden Troop, and then crit. For subs, get crit, then defense, and then attack in that priority. Flat defense and attack are also fine. The big bad Arlecchino. You can just go typical DPS polearm like Janewing or Homa if you don't have her sight. For artifact set, get the Bond of Life one, Harmonic Whimsy. Gladiator isn't bad though. Main stats get attack % or elemental mastery, pyro damage, and then crit. For substats, get crit, attack, and elemental mastery as well. Only go for EM if you're playing for a Melt or Vape. If you're going Overload, you don't really need it. On to Clarence, her best weapon is any crit sword if you don't have her signature, like Mist Splitter, Hadan, what have you. Artifact sets the Bond of Life 1 again, Harmonic Whimsy, but you can also go Gladiator or Thundering Fury. Main stat go Attack or Elemental Mastery, then Electro Damage and Crit. For subs get Crit, Attack, Elemental Mastery, and Energy. Sichuan's a weird character, but she's a healer nonetheless. Signature aside, you can also go Sequence of Solitude or Recurve Bow. Clap stat for your artifacts, and spam the crap out of HP for both main and sub, nothing else required. Wrapping up version 4 with Emily, her signature weapons first, followed by Deathmatch. Artifacts you can do either Deep Wound or Reverie, with main stats being Attack, Dentro Damage, and Crit. Substats too, Crit and Attack focus. Regarding energy, it's kinda weird. Without a signature, her ER requirements make it best to just forgo them and accept that you'll only be ulting every other rotation, so you don't have to really care about it. Now we enter version 5. God, why did I choose to make this video? Milani's signature holds the #1 spot, but you can also go Sacrificial Jade or Witsit. Artifact set go Obsidian Codex with their main stats being Elemental Mastery or HP, then Hydro Damage and Crit. For subs get Crit, Elemental Mastery, and HP. Regarding Kanish, she has a couple items to pick, so you can do Signature Weapon, or Malvika's signature Thousand Blazing, and then the 4-star 9-line weapon Earthshaker. Obsidian Codex per usual, and traditional DPS stats being Attack, Dentro Damage and Crit, and Attack and Crit for subs. Basically copy-paste Emily's stat priority. Next up we have Shilonin. You can either go her signature weapon or Vav Sword. Scroll of Cinder City for practically every 9-line support, and to be honest, you don't have to care about stats at all on this girl. Just go like defense, energy, and that's it. She really doesn't scale with stats. Bringing in Chaska, we have her signature weapon to start, followed by Aqua Simulacra or First Screen Magic, but you could also go VV by virtue of Chaska proccing it herself. Regardless, Attack or Elemental Mastery, Attack or Elemental Mastery or Pyro Damage on Goblet, and Crit. For subs, go Crit, Attack, and Elemental Mastery. We have finally made it to the Pyro Biker girl. Thousand Blazing or Serpent Spine, take your pick. For artifacts, get your hands on Obsidian if you're playing main or burst rotation, Scroll if you're doing purely support, and Deepwood if you're doing weird. Main stat, go Elemental Mastery for reactions or Attack for general purposes, then Pyro Damage and Crit, with your subs being Crit, Elemental Mastery, and Attack for set. Now for Silali, Starcrawler Watch is a good option for her, but frankly I don't think it's enough to merit going for it. You can just go Thrilling Tales. Scroll is in the city, or you can otherwise go Instructor if someone else on your team has Scroll. Then main stat go Elemental Mastery across the board, and subs go for Elemental Mastery, Crit, Attack percent, and some energy. Mizuki's best weapon options, aside from her signature, which I don't recommend pulling for, is Hakushin Ring, Wandering Evenstar, and Vav Codex. Artifact set go VV with the full Elemental Mastery build, crit rate on subs if you go Vav Codex, and then spam Elemental Mastery and some energy. On to Veressa, her best weapon is going to be a signature of course, and from then on you can do any kind of DPS catalyst like the ones on screen. Artifact set go either Obsidian Codex or Long Night Zode, both are fine. Main stats go Attack, Electro Damage, and Crit, with Crit, Energy, and Attack on subs. Standard build. Running into female Gordon Ramsay, her best weapon is going to be a signature or a Fab Lance. Artifact set could be multiple choices though. You can do Golden Troop for personal DPS, or Scroll Tenacity or Noblesse if you're playing for support. Main stat go Attack or Energy, Cryo Damage, and Crit. For subs get Crit, Attack, and Energy. Okay, we're in the home stretch. Skirk's best weapon is her signature followed by Mist Splitter, and from then on you can do Calamity of Veshu if you have a shield, and if you don't you can do Finale of the Deep. Artifacts go for Marshal Hunter or Finale of the Deep Galleries. I just realized there's a Finale of the Deep weapon and Finale of the Deep artifact. In any case, main stat go Attack, Cryo Damage, and Crit, and no energy on subs, just go Crit, Attack, and Flat Attack. Nefa is a lunar reaction unit, so she's got a bit of variety in her, but to keep it simple, Fractured Halo, her signature, then Scarlet Sands, otherwise go for the craftable Nodcry weapon, whose name is escaping me at the moment. Artifact set go for either the Luna 1 artifacts, or you can just do Gilded Dreams or 2-piece Attack and Elemental Mastery. Main stats go Attack, Attack, and Crit, with your subs being Crit, Attack, Elemental Mastery, and Flat Attack. Finally, we're at Nodcry, Llama, signature weapon, or any other supporting signature like Nahida, Mizuki, or Silali's. Then you can do the Nodcry 4-star catalyst, either the event one or the craftable one. For artifact set, either Luna 1 set works, or you can do Deepwood Memories, or 2-piece Elemental Mastery. For subs, go Elemental Mastery for Dace, crit rate, and then some energy. Flint's signature aside, you can go Scarlet Sands or Fractured Halo, or Deathmatch if you have R5, otherwise go the Nodcry free-to-play weapon. Artifact set go Night on the Sky's Unveiling, and then for main stat build him like Nefa, so Attack, Attack, and Crit, then Crit, Attack, and Elemental Mastery. Maybe some energy if you want. Last but not least, we have Nefer. Nefer's best weapon is going to be Signature of course, then Llama's Signature weapon, followed by the new 4-star weapons that came out in 6.1, and then the craftable Nodcry weapon. That is Sky for artifact set, and then for main stack go Elemental Mastery, and Crit, and then Crit and Elemental Mastery for subs. Okay, we are finished. I need to stop making these, they are so tedious, but nevertheless I hope it was of use to you guys. It should go without saying that as more weapons and artifacts get released, character builds will update, but for the most part I think this video should be good for at least a year or so. Anyway, I'm hungry so I'm gonna get food. If you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate it if you'd like to like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Vars and join my Discord server, and check out my best team for every 5-star character video if you haven't yet. But till next time, thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.